We are so back. It is now the first episode of Love Live Superstar that has been released earlier today, and I'm going to be using Team Onabe sub for this one. So of course there's a lot of things we've been waiting for to figure out what is going to happen in this anime. So we're going to go ahead and cover this episode. I'll go over and give my comments and show you a bunch of party segments as well as the songs. So I'm definitely excited to see what this will be. And of course, this is the first time we had a third season for any of the series. So I'm definitely excited to see how it's going to handle. And of course, if you do want to watch it, the main legal source is going to be through Crunchyroll. So you can go watch it. I'll give you a link if you're curious to go through that way. But otherwise, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the episode. So the episode starts with a recap that goes all the way back to the first season, which basically said Kanon was shy, she had trouble singing, she met Cuckoo, and then eventually participated in Love Live after getting all the members, and they got second place in the first time. The next year, they had more girls join, and they went in and competed, and they managed to win Love Live. Of course, that made Wien pretty upset. And at the end, she was offered an opportunity to study abroad in Vienna, but that was rejected, and we were like, well, why the heck did it happen? Well, they didn't answer that in season 2. We basically saw Wien, she was in the E01 outfit, so she's joined the school, but why? And why was it rejected? So that's where the episode starts. We resume from the very end, and she said the study abroad is cancelled. She's going to be staying at Yuigaoka, and now she is going to be the underclassman of Kano. Normally she's excited to hear about being called Kano Senpai, but I guess in this case she is a little more, what the heck is going on? I thought I was gonna go Vienna with Wien. Well, right now we are actually gonna go straight and jump to the opening, so I guess that's what's gonna happen. So this one's gonna be called Let's Be One. So let's go ahead and listen to this opening song, and then we'll get back to the rest of the episode. そ that was the opening song, Let's Be One, and they had the scenes for each individual character, which I thought was pretty neat to have it. They're all segmented. It doesn't look like the nicest in terms of animation style, like coloring's a little goofy, so I wasn't super crazy about all of them, especially because the background was kind of not the most interesting. It was literally just their image color, which I guess makes sense, but I thought that could have been a little more interesting. Out of all of them, I think Ren looks like the weirdest with the coloring, so I don't know. But anyways, for the rest of the song, you get to see Wien and Tomari animating and dancing, which is really great to see. And they're not slacking on the stage design and the effects they put under. This definitely looks nice. And overall, this is a pretty decent song. I like it more than Season 2's opening, but I definitely don't like it as much as the first one. It's an alright song overall. It's decent. And they had some nice instrumentals in the background, which I did like, though it's a little more subtle. Overall, it's a decent song, but nothing that blows my mind. So getting back to the episode, we get to see that Kanon drags in Wien trying to figure out what's going on by talking to the principal here. And of course she's a little confused, like, why is this happening? I already packed. Why am I not going studying abroad? So you also get to see that Kanon's actually talking to her parents, this is like afterwards. So they're trying to do a little bit of both. And her parents and her sister were both looking at her and just wondering, like, why the heck did that happen too? And they were like, well, this is just like that moment where you failed to get into the school, right? So of course Wien is mad at this predicament, and she was of course requested to learn singing from Shibuya. And I mean, if you listen to her song, do you really think she needs to learn how to sing? So of course they also mentioned the fact that you didn't win, and that's what's important. That's why we want you to stay here and learn how to sing from Kanon, the person who won the Love Live competition, or, you know, Leela in general. So, of course, Wien's pissed about this. She needs to learn from the group that won Love Live. Of course, the end goal is that they want her to win Love Live, or at least something that's equivalent to winning to Love Live. Did they not remember what she did earlier that year? Though, wouldn't this count? Remember when Wien floored Sunny Passion, the previous winners? She smoked them and made them cry because that's how bad she beat them. So, I don't know how that makes a whole lot of sense, but basically, Kanon then is like, okay, so I can't go because Wien can't go. So, for whatever reason, the writers decide that they give a decent enough reason for why Wien can't go. She lost, and they want her to learn from Kanon. But Kanon is getting punished because she needs to teach Wien? Huh? So I'm not really sure why Kanon is still here. So did they want to create some drama for her to stay here? And then be like, well, no, she's not leaving, lol, lol, lol. So I definitely find it a little weird. Maybe you guys can make that sense to me, but I don't know. But anyways, of course, this leaves a new problem where Kanon's like, oh, I actually didn't leave. You know, all my friends said goodbye to me, so how do I come back to them and say hello? So we get to see that the girls are all practicing, and Kanon's just wondering what she should do. And you can see she's peeking out the window, but these girls are talking about their new exercise regimen, which was prepared by Cuckoo, the girl who struggled to have some exercises, and the big supporter was Kinako, the girl who also was dying in her early workouts. I don't know. I guess that shows growth or something. Now they are the ones really into hard exercises. But of course, the girls are wondering, well, what is Kanon doing? Well, little you know, she's right next to you guys, staring outside that door, wondering what she should do. So of course, Kanon's wondering what she should do. So she actually leaves, but while walking across, she noticed Wien on the bench. So they decide to have a little discussion. And Wien's like, what are you going to do about Liella? You just left, right? Are you going to go back? So there is a slight hesitation with Kanon, which I did find a little interesting. Of course, she's unsure if she should go back. But Wien is not unsure. She will not join Liella. She wants to win Love Live, and that's what she's going to do. She is going to beat them and be able to go back. Kanon's like, alright, I don't know. I'm just going to go walking around. And she's like, well, I don't want to leave Margaret alone. While she's walking, she notices her friends, and she's like, oh shoot, they can't see me. She's still nervous. They're not supposed to know I'm here. And the girls are like, well, are we hallucinating? I could have sworn we heard Kanon screaming. But she just ends up hiding and still is unsure about herself and what she should do. She continues walking around the school, and she almost gets caught again. And the girls, they're walking by, and they notice a poster saying the new school idol club, and it was on there, Wien. So does that mean we have rivals? You bet we do. So, Wien comes and shows up to the girls saying, I'm starting a school idol club, and I'm going to beat you guys, and my school idol club is going to take you guys out. Cuckoo is focused on, where the heck is Kanon if you're back? But she doesn't incline to answer. Instead, she's more focused on how there's going to be two school idol clubs, and my school idol club is going to be the better one. It's going to win Love Live, and yours is not. And of course, some of these girls are going to take some offense to that. But it does mean we're going to have kind of a similar storyline to also remember with Nanju. They had a rival school idol club, and the other one's going to take down the other one. Granted, it's a slightly different in the fact that Nanju was using more of a force method, which isn't fair. And this one's just more like rivalry. I'm better than you, and the better one's just going to win out, and the other one's just going to lose because competition wise, let's just all join the better one. But Cuckoo's like, I don't care, yo, where is Kanon? And then Win's like, wait, you don't know? She actually doesn't answer, so I guess it leaves it, the girls are like, what the heck does that mean? But I'm wondering why she's not answering. I don't know if there's a good reason why she doesn't have that. Later in the day, we get to see Chisato. She's texting with Kanon because, you know, they're friends and all. But towards the end of the scene, we get to see this text where she's going to send something. And of course, it might be something on her mind where, you know, she's not showing up. So later that day as well, we get to see that Natsumi, she, of course, does her videos on her LTube or whatever they called it. And she made a video of the scene, and it's like, oh, this is very controversial, and she's going to get, what, 1.2 million views. The girls are not so happy about that. But most important thing is we get to see Tomari on the outside here, listening, but not, of course, going in and joining them. Of course, if you guys didn't already know, we've been told that Tomari, same last name as Natsumi, so she's the younger sister, she's the first year, and she hasn't joined this group. And you're kind of wondering, like, well, Natsumi should know her sister's here. I don't know why she's not trying to get her sister to join, per se. and why her sister isn't super interested in joining where her sister's at. But I guess we can't draw too many conclusions from this scene here, but definitely is interesting to see that. So Wien, she is going to try to get people to join the squad club, though she's kind of timid about it. She's not even shouting. But we got Ren coming in saying, we don't have to be separate. We can join forces and we'll win Love Live together. But Wen is not interested in joining, and for two reasons. Of course, she wants to win Love Live, but the main thing is she wants to beat them, rather than being the loser and, if you can't beat them, join them kind of mentality. She wants to beat them and prove that she's superior and that she's better. And she even throws a diss at Sune, which of course she's not super happy about that. But she doesn't want to be marked as a failure and feels defeated. We can see later today, Kanon is running, doing her exercises, and she runs to Chisato. Of course, and you see that Chisato is a surprise. Of course, that's what the text was about, where Kanon's like, I need to talk to you. And as the girls are talking to each other, Kanon confesses that she is going to help Wien sing. So Chisato asks the important question, are you going to join Margaret? And she's like, I don't know about that. So she's contemplating this, but while she's walking by, she hears someone singing. So this is the piano version of Butterfly Wing. You guys probably already know what the song is, but she's singing to an audience, pretty small audience, but the important part is Kanon is listening to her. And when Wien is done singing, she this is a little goofy clapping, but I'm good to see that she is definitely on her mind. Then we get the start of a new day, and we get to see Arya, the younger sister of Kanon, in a different outfit. Of course, as we know, she's going to be a first year now, and the fact that she has a different uniform means she decided she's going to a different high school as the rest of girls, so that theory is pretty much dead. And the mother and sister even go and explain that she decided she's going to go on her own path and not join Kanon. So we see Kanon, she's joining the opening ceremony, the entrance day, and of course this is the first time third years are here, and she runs by and she gets to see the rest of the girls, and this is where she first introduced saying, yeah, I'm back guys, I'm here, and Kugel's like, yo, we're gonna win our championship now that you're back here, but Kanon says this bombshell line, I'm not coming back to Liella. And the girl's like, what the heck, what do you mean? And basically I think the way she's explained is like, I won't be able to grow if I come back to Liella, and that's kind of the point of going to Vienna was I can grow as a person, but if I'm going to come back, I throw that opportunity away. And then she also adds saying that the school has asked her to teach Margaret about singing. So the girls were like, wait, Margaret? So does that mean you are going to join her? And the answer is yes. Kanon is going to join Wien, and they're going to be rivals, and they're going to compete against the rest of Liella, which, wow, that's quite interesting. But before we talk more about that, she goes and explains that later they could join, and while they're rivals now, hopefully this competition will make each other better and stronger, and later they can come as one and be one very powerful group. Kineko is not crazy about this. She's going to be like, I'm going to be so lonely. Girl, you have so many other members around you. Kanon's going to be the one who's lonely. She's just going to be with Wien. Don't you see all of your friends around you? But anyways, they're going to work towards the day where they can be one. But right now, Kanon is going to be a rival with Wien against the rest of the girls from Liella. I gotta say, wow, I was not expecting that, but that actually generally makes this a little more interesting. And the unpredictability is nice to see because a lot of times Love Live can be pretty dang predictable with a lot of how things go. So the fact that we have Kanon and Wien together, like, are we gonna get some Kanon Wien songs? Are we gonna have them singing together? Or I guess if Tomari joins them, we'll have a trio. And we're gonna have Liella songs without Kanon. I'm hoping, maybe we get one or two of those. That could be very interesting to see. But then having that dynamic where Kanon is fighting against the rest of the girls can be interesting. I'm wondering if that's going to give her more screen time. And that's kind of a problem Season 2 had. Where, we had one rival group and the other group. So just the fact that she's part of a small group means she'd get more screen time. I feel it still should be more focused on Wien and Tomari. But, Kanon's the main character of Superstore. So it could potentially be a problem. But we'll definitely see how that works out. Then we get to see Ren is, of course, talking about the opening ceremony. we get to see all the girls. They get a lot of intrigue, and they're popular now, so all the girls want to get their signatures. So that's definitely interesting. And then we get to see someone picks up a form, and it's Kanon Shibuya. She fills out the form to join Wien's club, and she hands it to Wien. And Wien's like, what the heck is this? Kanon's like, I filled out the form. I'm going to join you. And of course, Wien's like, what the heck is going on here? Why would you want to join me? Why would you ever want to do that? I gotta say, in general, I kind of found nice seeing Wien react in such a shocked way that I found kind of cute. And now we have this, and my guess is like, if Kanon joins Wien, that also makes it easier for her to accomplish her purpose, which is to teach Wien how to sing and help her join the school next year. Now we actually could jump straight into the ending theme, so without further ado, let's cover the ending theme called Daisuki Full Power. So Daisuki Full Power is a pretty fun song. I like some points of the animation, which were pretty clean with some of these transitions. And we get to see the girls hang out and do some funny, goofy things. I think Wien looks pretty cute here. And we also get to see the moments where they had all the pictures of all the girls from their respective years. Thought that was pretty neat to see. And we even seen pan across every single girl. But overall, this is a really fun ending theme. I generally like ending themes. But this is definitely a really fun one that I liked a lot. We got to see all their symbols, all the girls hang out. Just overall a fun song. I definitely like this more than the opening theme. I generally tend to do that for most songs. It's a pretty good one. Probably still my least favorite ending theme because I really like the first two a lot. And especially some of the scenes were really fun in the first two. But overall, this is a really solid song. And this is probably something I'll be listening to a lot when it comes out. After the ending theme, there's one more scene. Tomari walks up and, of course, asks, well, I heard there's a new school idol club, and I'm interested potentially. Wien's like, well, I'm talking to Kanon, so can you give me a second? So that's all we get to see, but we get to see Tomari is ready, getting to potentially join the group. And last but not least, we have a preview of the next episode. We get to see Tomari's there. We get to see her older sister, Natsumi, losing her mind over something, which potentially being like, yo, my sister is going to join the rival group? That's probably what I'm guessing. And the name of the episode, Toma Kanon Te. Toma, probably from Tomari. Kanon has the Kano part. And Te, I'm guessing from Margaret. So the Te part, the very end. That can't be the name of the group that they're going to have, right? I guess that works. But it's kind of an interesting name. But, of course, it looks like we're going to learn more about that rival group that they're forming. Are we going to get a song, maybe? I'm just saying, that would be nice to see. And the very last thing we need to talk about is the Liel no Uta. These are always at the end of the episodes for NHK broadcasts in Japan. So let's go ahead and show this one. This is going to be called Dulce by Wien. So without further ado, let's get a preview of that song. So that was Dulce by Wien. We're likely to get another version of this one, probably with Tomari or Kano. And we get to see in this scene, we got a bunch of plushes for all the girls. So like Shiki's all the way on the left, for example. But the one that approaches Wien is this one, which got the jellyfish kind of ears. That's, of course, going to be Tomari. So I imagine Tomari's going to get the other version. Pretty cute scene. And, this is just Liel no Uta. Usually not necessarily everyone's favorite songs, but they're all in this kind of vein. So definitely look forward to seeing more of that in the future. So that is going to be the first episode. So there's definitely a lot that's happened, and we already got a look at what's happening in the future. We get to see a little bit more of Wien, and I'm curious to see if people's opinions have changed on her. We get to see a little bit more moments of vulnerability from her, but of course she still has that hardened exterior where she's like, I'm going to be the best, I'm going to beat you guys. But we also got to see, she kind of got shocked when Kanon decides to join her. And that, of course, is the big thing that happened. So now we get to see Kanon is not actually going back to Liella. That's what I was always going to assume, so I was kind of surprised to see that wasn't the case. But I think this does make it a little bit more interesting. The fact that Kanon is now helping Wien, which in that aspect I understand that is her goal, is to get back to the school, and they want Kanon to do that. So we'll have to see how that dynamic plays, but that does make things a little bit more interesting now that Kanon is not with the rest of Liella. And I'm of course interested to see what songs come out. Are we going to have songs without Kanon for Liella for a little bit? And are we going to have songs for this rival group, whatever they're going to call it? I don't know if it's necessarily going to be that name that we have, Toman Kanon Te, I think it was. Are they going to perform some songs? Episode 2 will be a little quick for that, considering that Tomari, as far as we know, doesn't have any experience singing or dancing, and to have a song in the episode that she joins is pretty quick turnaround. They're probably more interested in drawing out that episode on Kanon getting acquainted with Wien and Tomari joining. So I feel like that's what's going to be the focus of the episode will be. But we already got the opening and ending from the get-go for the first episode, which that's really quick to have all that too. But I am curious to see what you guys think about this. That's in the comments below. How do you feel about Wien now? How do you feel about Tomari from the very little that we've seen so far? Does she intrigue you? What do you think about her personality from what you've seen so far? And of course, how do you feel about this fact that Kanon is not actually rejoining Liella? So I'm curious to see what you guys think about this in the comments below. Anyway, thanks you guys for watching. I do have a poll where you can go ahead and rank the girls after each episode. So link in the description where you can go ahead and participate in it. Just rank 1 for your favorite girl and 11 for your least favorite girl. And on later in the week, I will go ahead and close the poll and I'll spell out the rankings. And we'll do this for every week after every episode. And then we'll get to see how the girls' rankings change over time. Alright, let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. Please do participate in the poll, link in the description, and share with your friends. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I hope to catch you guys in another video soon.